though I know some of you guys don't like, you might agree, you might disagree with the concept of a man having a high body count. What I'm arguing, I'm not here to argue the morality of it. I'm here to argue that if a man has a high body count, he is doing something right and he has higher sexual market value. He's doing something right because it is a skill set to be able to sleep with a lot of women.
By our standard of a society, I don't think it's universally true.
That if a man is able to have sex with a lot of women, he's doing something right?
It depends on the woman that he's having sex with.
Okay, let me rephrase this so it's easier to understand. I'm saying a guy that has had sex with a lot of women is doing something right and has higher sexual market value in something.
I agree he has higher sexual market value, but that's
what I'm trying to say.
Yes, if you are in demand and if you had sex with more people, you by definition have higher sexual market value.
Yes.
But I think
But that doesn't work for women is my point.
But I think the disagreement we're having here, Myron, is that sexual market value is everything. That you can impute all this value from sexual market value and say a guy's entire personality, his traits can be summed up by sexual market value.
Well, no, it is because men, for women, their predominant trait for their sexual market value is their looks. As a man, you have multiple traits that get encompassed into your sexual market value because women aren't, they are kind of shallow, but women have far more standards that we have to check off. So as a guy.
Yeah, so he's conflating sexual market value with his personal beliefs of value, which encompasses virtues. That's why he keeps talking about morals, even though when Myron started the conversation, he prefaced it with, he's not speaking about morals. Myron is speaking about the psychology behind females' attraction triggers and how that correlates to a man's sexual market value, which is his ability to attract women. But this guy, he just can't seem to understand that.
If you're able to get a lot of women, by definition, you have higher sexual market value because women don't just care about looks. Looks are a component.
But sexual market value does not make you a better person.
That depends on who the individual is. You can go on an individual basis on that, but the point I'm making, I'm not really making a morality or religious argument. I'm making more of a biological argument that a man that has a guy that has a lot of women is doing something right, more than likely has higher sexual market value. And then I think that's the best position to be in because if you have higher sexual market value, you've dealt with more women. If you've dealt with more women, you have more experience. You can, taper off girls or get rid of girls that aren't a good fit for you. And that's what I think as far as like because marriage is a big risk for men nowadays. So
it's a big risk for everybody.
Correct.
But more for men.
Way bigger risk for men. Way bigger risk for men.
Okay, but so let me just give you one example. All right.
TikTok. We're live on TikTok, by the way, guys.
Okay.
TikTok.
Hi to Larry Ellison.
You show TikTok.
So
you got it right there.
So Myron.
Yeah.
If a guy
on the screen, please,
has done 300 lines of coke in his life, that probably means he's hanging out at expensive clubs, big parties, gone to Vegas, flown on private jets, has the money to do coke. Does doing 300 lines of coke make you a better person? Because it would correlate with being.
But I don't think that's analogous to this.
Why not?
Because you don't have to have any skill set to do cocaine.
Sure. No, actually, you need money. You need to have a plug. You need to have a relationship. You need to be able to be in those clubs in the first place.
That's not analogous to going to the gym, learning female nature.
All right, fellas, mission is critical. I was searching my name online and found tons of information that was way too personal. So I thought to myself, who has the ability to leak this type of information? And I found out there's companies called data brokers that profit out of selling your information to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. You already know I've been through many matrix attacks where people create fake pages of mine by using my data, and the same can happen to you. That's why I'm recommending today's sponsor, Aura. I use Aura to automatically remove my information from these sites and keep them off of these sites. They also do other things like bank fraud, identity theft alerts, and also VPN access. I want you to go ahead and utilize my link below in the description box for a 14-day free trial. At least you'll see if you've been compromised or not. Privacy is key nowadays, and you should know if your information is out there. So again, utilize my link in the description box at aura.com/nofugazi and get 2 weeks free. That's more than enough time to see if your personal data has been exposed. Again, he's conflating sexual value like a man having money to live a lifestyle, to do a whole lot of drugs. From his view, you make a lot of money, you can do bad things. You make a lot of money, you can do bad things. So from his view, he keeps inserting morality in there. Myron is speaking about the byproduct of being successful, not what men do with their success. It's a difference. Myron is giving a descriptor. He's speaking about alts. That's the part where he's not truly comprehending. But I digress. Let's continue on.
How to be attractive, how to dress well, how to take care of yourself, self-care.
So that's why I think the number of dates I think is more important, way more important than body count could ever be. Because it tells you about what kind of person they are. Body count's a very shallow.
Keep in mind that I made the distinction that you don't necessarily have to close, but you need to be capable of closing. Like that's what I'm saying.
Facts. You need to be capable of closing. So what he's simply saying here, if you exercise those options, then the convo switches into if it's moral or not. But you don't have to exercise those options, and you can still display high sexual market value. That's the difference. Because women attraction triggers are complex. They're attracted to many different things in a man, like Myron alluded to. He said that women have high standards, a lot of different boxes that men need to check off. And even if men do check off those boxes, like meeting the height standard, meeting the income standard, then, well, when he starts speaking to her, if he doesn't have any charisma, she's still going to disqualify him. So yes, it is true that women are physically attracted to men, but the words that come out of your mouth plays a huge part. If you're speaking some nonsense and you don't have the ability to make her feel the vibes, right? Because women, they don't create any vibe themselves. Well, they may create vibes with their girlfriends, right? But when they're on a date with the man, no, they're looking for the man to create that vibe. And then they fall into that vibe, right? And then there's other things about women where they like a mysterious man. Women don't like a man that they already figured out, because a man that they already figured out is boring. I already figured you out. You're boring. I'll move on to another guy. I know your schedule. I know everything about you. I know what you like and what you don't like. I know what ticks you and what doesn't tick you. You were vulnerable with me before, so I know what hurts you. And I know all of this stuff about you. You're easy to figure out. Those guys become unattractive. No, you need to be hard to figure out. You need to maintain a certain level of being mysterious when it comes to maintaining the attraction with a woman.
Capability of closing will not be measured by body count, because you can't measure something that didn't happen, even though it's capable.
Well, I'm saying like take it right to the edge, but most men are not going to do that. But I'm saying in a hypothetical, like you would need to be the one denying the girl. She's all over you and I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I don't want to do this. And then you could count that, I guess. But the point I'm trying to make is that most men don't have that skill set. So if a guy does have that skill set,
can I ask a question?
By definition, he's going to have higher sexual market value. Higher sexual market value means that you have options. When you have options, you tend to be more attractive because you're not being thirsty. One of the biggest things that women get turned off by is a guy that doesn't have social proof or doesn't have other women around, because he starts to behave in a very needy fashion.
Again, we're not arguing morality here.
Yeah.
Practicality.
No, but I think we have to.
Well.
Do we want a moral and just society?
Let's be honest here, James. It's not going backwards. It's only going forward.
Of course there is. I mean, can you imagine sitting here in the 1840s and being like, nope, there's no going back to slavery. No, we got to keep slavery. Like, there's no. Of course we can.
Oh, we're too far gone, man.
Bro.
I don't think we are.
I am black and I'm black pill now. The doomsday is here, my friend. The days of going backwards to save women is
Let me
gone.
ask you, if we could go back, would you do it?
Of course.
Okay. But you know why? But you know why you say that? Because you believe that things used to be better. It used to be better. And if you think you could hit a button right now and we could go back, you would, I would. Ladies, would you?
No.
See? There you go.
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay, but we
And that's actually, you know what? Hold on. And that's precisely the problem.
So there you go.
Wait.
No, hold on.
But why not?
No. Wait. Before she even answers that.
Booyah. Think about, he's like, but why not? Why wouldn't you want to go back? Because he is living in a delusion. He doesn't understand the current dating marketplace. He doesn't understand how feminism has warped their minds, and they want to be independent. They want to chase their career, and they want to hold off from having a family. This is what women want to do. We can thank feminism for that, right? Now, the funny thing is, he needed the girls to validate Myron's and Fresh's position. Like, think about that. As a man, in order to know if the man is saying something correct, well, I'm going to be in disbelief until women can validate what the men are saying. That's nonsensical, because if you want to catch a fish, you go to the fisherman. You don't ask the fish, right? So like the way he's viewing things is, we could just tell that he's a white knight and he doesn't fully understand women's behavior, because he's too busy worried about how women feel and what they say. Moreover, he should be paying attention to how women act. And it makes it clear that he truly doesn't understand modern dating and how it works in the age of social media and dating apps and, you know, stuff like that. He doesn't truly understand. You got Instagram. What is Instagram? Well, Instagram, women get to post pictures of themselves and get attention without even going outside. Well, wait. Back in the day, in the 50s and the 60s, women had to go outside to get attention. Okay. All right. Currently now, women don't have to leave their house. They can post pictures online and get attention from a high status guy. Well, one would think that, well, this would change the way men and women tend to meet. Because back in the 50s and 60s, Bridget, let's give an old name, you know, those old names in the 50s. Bridget, well, if she was a very attractive girl, Bridget is most likely going to date the person in her school that has a lot of status, the guy that's an athlete. Currently now, Bridget, well, she doesn't have to date the guy in her town with status, because she can meet guys in other towns with more status. This is why women get flown out. And he doesn't know that this changes the dating marketplace. Now, even if women do not exercise those options, just the simple fact that they know they could have a better man, they're not really going to respect the men that they're dealing with in their local town. I repeat, when women are dating men in their town, right? It could be an attractive guy, but just the fact that she knows she has potential of dating someone with higher status, more money, better looks, can give her a better lifestyle, she's going to be less likely to want to really get married, start a family, right? Because once again, women, they prioritize quality. Well, yeah, I'll be with this guy in the town, but you know, once this NBA player or this NFL player responds to my DM, once I get that opportunity, I'll go ahead and exercise it. But even if they don't exercise it, and inadvertently, it's like, well, I know I can do better. Think about that, right? Bridget in the 50s and 60s, well, if she's dating the highest status guy in a town, she doesn't know that she can do better because she can't see anything else out there. But Becky, in today's day and age, she'll be dating this guy with the high status in the town, but she knows she can do better because, one, she's getting attention from all of these high status men via Instagram, via dating apps and things of that sort. And not to mention, like, these chicks on Instagrams will put their Cash App on there. In their bio, Cash App. Think about that.
Bruh.
Just think about it. They got their Cash App in the bio. So not only are these women getting free attention from men via Instagram, but they're also soliciting men with their sexuality. Oh, well, if you want me to reply to your DM, hit my Cash App. I have girls that come on my podcast and say, well, yeah, I don't go out on dates with guys unless they Cash App me first for my number. Was women doing that in the 50s and 60s? And do you think that now women having all of this leverage in the sexual dating marketplace, you think that they want to give that up? No, they don't want to give this leverage up. To women, it is leverage, because what they can do is utilize the simps, the guys that they don't want, for the time, attention, and resources, and then have fun with the NFL player, the basketball player, or the highest status man that they can get. In the long run, it doesn't really work for a lot of them, because those highest status men, well, listen, they got options. And how can you be his only option? So you're competing to be his only option with all of these girls because, yeah, Becky, you're operating like that within your hypergamous nature and trying to get the best guy you want. But guess what, Becky? You're not special. All women are doing it. So it's competition. So really the power and the most leverage goes to the highest status men. The most attractive men have all of the options and all of the leverage. That's the truth. Women only have leverage with the guys that they don't want. The guys that they do want, if you want them, other chicks want them too. You probably don't have that leverage anymore.
That is precisely the problem, and this is why guys have to deal with the new normal.
Yep. Okay.
The average
I guess
modern
I'm getting
woman,
black-pilled.
The average modern woman.
I just got black-pilled, I guess.
I'm telling you,
but I want to.
I'm telling you, like women would rather be independent, getting f***ed by a bunch of random chads, working a job, than actually being with a guy that loves them and respects them and having kids. Let me finish what I'm saying.
Please.
Okay. You guys just proved the point right there. He literally said, "Do you want to go back to the 1950s?"
And hell no. Let's be clear. I'm getting black-pilled in real time because Fresh said he wanted to go back.
Yeah,
and I'm black,
and
you're black, and that would have been tough for you going back 150 years.
So, and here's the thing, right? Let's say we didn't have these women here. Let's say we had a bunch of women that went to Columbia, Yale, whatever. They would all say the same thing because nowadays, women have changed. They don't want to do anything for the express pleasure of men. They don't want to be wives. They want to get married, but they don't want to be wives. They want to have their freedom. They want to be sluts, and we have to deal with the new normal. Look, I wish we can go back to the 1950s. Right? I wish it could be 1956 again.
Kumbaya.
But it's 2026. And these girls, quite frankly, you take an average 21-year-old girl, average 21-year-old guy, that woman has probably had sex with more dudes than this guy will have in his entire lifetime. Women are lapping men sexually, career-wise, income-wise. Men have to adapt for the new normal.
And this is why
I wish it wasn't this way.
And this is why, James, the red pill will never die. Because the dating game is rigged, is gone too far, and women have the power and not giving up for nothing.
And here's the other thing, too. You mentioned something.
That's facts.
No Fugazee.
You truly don't even know the sexual dating marketplace right now. You truly don't even understand females' nature. Like, you thought that they would want to go back to the 60s. No, why would they want to do that? Right? That's stupid. Bro, they can sell feet pictures on Feet Finders and make a bag. They can start an OnlyFans and show their butthole and make a bag. Why do they want to go back to the 50s and 60s, right?
Great earlier. You said, hey, if we went back to the 1950s, because you mentioned your grandma married your grandpa, after the first date or whatever. The third date. That's beautiful. But unfortunately, right, the women now, are significantly different, right? They don't value marriage. They don't value a man. Women are taught, be strong and independent. Go get a career. You don't want to depend on a guy.
Toxic feminism. It's being taught in our schools.
Wait,
so I want to get to the bottom of that.
True. Can I say something?
Yeah.
I've been trying to say something for a while.
It's not your show, dude.
Okay, I'm just trying to interject.
Yeah,
All right, go ahead, man. Okay. At this point, go ahead. You good.
All right, if you don't want to hear my opinion, then you don't have to.
No, just weird.
No, but it's quite frankly, your opinion doesn't fucking matter. It's not your show. I mean, you're gonna say some bimbo.
Hey, yo. Dude be a villain out here. I'll be having my moments like that on the podcast too, especially when I'll be doing streaming for 3 hours, having the girls on there and they crazy disrespectful. I'll be having my moments too. I'm a little bit more patient though, but dude is funny.
Oh shit!
Didn't you ask her to be on the show though?
I didn't ask her. No.
Didn't somebody ask her to be on the show?
All right, Maylin, what do you want to say?
And it doesn't even matter if Myron himself asked her to be on the show. That doesn't matter. It's his show. So if he doesn't want her speaking anymore, then shut up. Be quiet. Men are speaking right now. I don't want to hear your opinion. Your opinion is invalid. It doesn't matter. You're a woman. You don't understand the male experience anyway. You're speaking from a privileged position. You were born with your sexual value. You did not have to create your sexual value at all. So you won't even understand the convo that we're having.
I'm curious to hear it.
You couldn't even name 3 countries, man. Shut up. You know what I mean?
Bruh. Yeah, a lot of women do.
Oh, man. See, it makes sense. This is what, an hour and 40 minutes in. They already asked the question of, can you name 3 countries? She couldn't name them. So Myron already fed up man, this girl isn't going to have anything insightful to say. So just shut up.
Want to be wives and housewives. It's just
what?
A lot of women do want that.
So let's go back to the 60s.
Let's
go back to the 60s.
Love to homeschool and
then let's do
what
it.
I was gonna say. A lot of women would actually love that.
Go ahead.
And the guy, the candidate that's running for governor, he doesn't understand. He's like, well, yeah, let's go back to the 60s. Let's do it. Why not? Let's do it. Bro, these chicks have so many rights and all of these privileges, and sexism tends to benefit them more than it benefits men. They're not giving up that leverage. They don't want to give it up, right? So the conversation would have to turn to, well, if men gave women rights to be in a workplace and to get a higher education and chase your career and not to prioritize a family. Like, men created this system that women are living in. We can change it, right? Men grant rights. We also have the ability to take rights away, right? And that's the only way it'll happen. Like, if you have kids, right? I got a lot of children, right? But if you have kids, you know this. If you just put two things in front of them, candy or vegetables, what they going for? Candy. They're going to go for candy. That's just what it's going to be. They're going to grab that candy and they're going to be like, they're going in. That's women. Well, you put being submissive, having a husband, raising children, or the candy, being independent, chasing your career and your dreams and your goals, and soliciting men for their money with your sexuality. Wait, I have all of these options over here? So I can work and be a lawyer or a doctor, or I can choose not to work and I can sell a body part? Yeah, that's candy. Let me get more of this. They're not going back. He doesn't understand that.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is Myron is always telling people to be better. Go work on yourself. But why are you telling women to be the type of women that men want, and you're not telling men to work on certain things that are the reason why women don't want to go back? The same way how we don't give a fuck if you have designer, we don't give a fuck if you're fit. We care more about how you're going to treat us. We care more because that's an indicator of how you're going to treat our future children.
Bro, you a liar, bro.
Why are you lying about?
See, this is why I don't take women seriously, bro.
Why am I lying about
Looks do
what?
matter.
Fucking nonsense.
Looks do matter.
Looks do matter.
But
You
it
can make the
doesn't
argument
matter.
that
It doesn't matter more than someone's character, the measure of a man.
No, that's a bare minimum.
Okay.
Okay, look. Every woman is different. Some women might care more about looks than others. Yep. Some girls might say it's 50% of the equation. Other girls might say it's 10% of the equation. Some girls might say it's 90% of the equation. I need a Chad. Fine. But the bottom line is that there's a matrix of traits that women are looking for in a guy, okay? And then you made the other, I actually wrote this down, because you were making the complaint that...
Yeah, so Myron could have just dismantled the point already, and I'm sure he's done it many times before. So she's speaking from a place of assuming that she's already attracted to the guy. And women always do this. When they speak about men, they speak in a way where they assume that she's already attracted to the man. I repeat, when women speak about men, they speak in a way where they assume that they are already attracted to the man. Right? And if they're already attracted to the man, this means that the man already met her prerequisites. Right? What are women's prerequisites? Well, they got standards. It can be height, it can be income, it can be charisma, it can be status, it can be a nice car, it can be a multitude of things. And the truth is, if the man didn't meet her prerequisites and he had a good heart, he gave to the homeless shelter, and he was very virtuous, well, if he was 5'2" and broke, she wouldn't give that man a chance. Take that in. If the man does not meet the woman's prerequisites, it doesn't matter if he has a good heart and good values or not, she won't give him a chance. So the man has to meet the woman's prerequisites just to get a chance. Then you can speak about the values and his morals and his ability to donate to charity and pray 5 times a day. I don't know, right? But women always, when they view men, they assume that they're already attracted to the man. They assume that he already met the attractiveness. And the thing is, if he met the attractiveness, right, then he met her prerequisites, which means that he's already displaying value. So if you like that clip and you want to watch more, click right here. But if you want to watch the full episode, click right here.